Welcome back to the channel. Today I am doing a what I read in April. I read 42 books in April. It's been a great reading month. I really didn't think I was going to get my April TBR, which I didn't read a lot of the stuff on my April TBR, but this month I was mainly like a mood reading for me. So this month I mainly did like a mood reading and what I was in the mood to read. So that's what I did. Okay, so we're going to start off with, I don't know when I read this. I just know I read it this month. I just don't know when. So I'm going to start off with this book because it's just, yeah. I did read The Maze Runner, and I gave this a 2-star. I didn't really like it, and maybe if I would have read this before I watched the movie, I would have liked it, but it also could have been because this is for like teens, and I'm obviously not a teen, so, but I do see where people like it. And then next I read, if y'all may have watched my vlog, but I did read Hopeless, and I gave this a 4.72 star. Literally loved this book. I want to call her Skylar all the time just because her name is Sky, but Sky and Dean are like amazing. She did not deserve what happened to her, let me just say that though. And then I read Losing Hope by Colleen Hoover, and I gave this one a 5 stars. I did like this one a little bit more, and it's that letter at the end that made me like, yes, I want this. Like, yes, I love this book. But I do have a reading vlog of this one. I don't have it of Hopeless, but I do have it of this one, so y'all can go watch that. And I have it of this one in that same video, but this one's Finding Cinderella. I gave it a 4 stars. I did like this. I think it was a good, like, a good way of, like, telling you on Six and Daniel's side and putting a little bit more into the story, so I did like that. I like being back in that world. And then after that, I read Agatar. I gave it a 4.25, but now that I'm thinking on it and I kind of like simmered on it, I think I'm going to give this a 5 star. Because this is an amazing series. I loved it, loved every bit of it. I was literally like, it was kind of slow to start for me, like that much of it maybe. Like I was like, okay, am I going to like this? I don't know. But and then like I got it and I loved it. I think I like started loving it on chapter 12, which is the 13th, and it was a slow start, but once I got to chapter 12, I was like, I have a TikTok on this one. Y'all want to watch that, talking about that one. And then the next one I read, I kind of wanted to get out of the fantasy world and kind of just go to thriller, so I went to Lock Every Door by Riley Sager. I gave this a 4.75 star. I really liked it. I was not expecting anything that was in this book. Like, I really liked this book. I was not expecting any of it. And then I read Verity by Colleen Hoover. I gave this a 4.25 star. I'm looking at my thing and I got confused. I gave this one a 4.25 star. But I didn't read this version. I did read the paperback of it, and so when I originally rated it, I usually give it a 4.25 star, but once I got this one in, I read the last chapter, and I don't know, I think I'm going to switch it to a 4.5, maybe 5, I don't know, but team manuscript, don't think the letter was true. Okay, and then I wanted to get my waterworks on, I guess, because I was bawling at this one. If He Had Been With Me by Lauren Nowen, 5 star. Immediately ordered the second book on his perspective right after I finished this. Loved it so much. Then you go to The Crown. I had this on my April TBR because I finished a whole other selection series, so I wanted to finish this one. So I just wanted to finish the entire thing. I didn't really like it. I gave it a 3 star. American Singers more where I liked it from. I liked her story. And then I read To All the Boys I Loved Before. I gave this a 4 stars. I really loved it. It was so sweet, so cheesy, but I really liked it. And I think I will continue to read this. I'll probably reread it and like annotate it at some point. It'll probably be like a summer read, even though I just read it and summer's coming up. Yeah. And then I wanted to finish the Hopeless series, so I went in with All Your Perfect. And a lot of y'all, if y'all have read this, you can read this as a standalone because it really has nothing to do with Guy or Holder. But if you read what I read next, which is Finding Perfect, it connects the Hopeless series with this book, and it literally, this book was a 4 star. Only because I don't like rating novellas 5 star if I love them, because they're so small. But I think like this book right here made me cry as well. It connected the entire series, and like if you want to read it to where it connects it, I highly recommend reading it in the order it tells you to read it in. And then I went to Maybe Someday. This was probably one of my, I wouldn't say my least favorite. It's not my least favorite, but out of the series, it's my least favorite. I didn't really care for this. I did like the romance in it. The romance was cute. I just wasn't like, oh, let me hurry up and finish this. Like, I just want to finish, you know. I wasn't like flipping through and couldn't put it down. It wasn't one of those things. And then after that, I read the Maybe Not in the series, and that's the same series. And this one, I didn't tell you the rating, but this one I gave a 3 star, and this one I gave a 2 star. I didn't really care for any of it. I know that's kind of harsh, but I did like this, like the series. Like, don't get me wrong, I will eventually probably reread them, but that's not my favorite series by Colleen Hoover by any means. Then I went to Crown of Midnight, and if y'all can only guess what I rated this, 5 star, 100%. Love this, loved this book. I love this series so much that I repurchased it and the new copies before it goes out, and I love it so much that I want to get the UK copies of them before they completely stop making this. And then I read After. If y'all, I have a video, I think it's going up today as I'm filming this actually, but I have a video of me reading 7 books in 7 days, and this is what this book came in. But I gave this one a 4 star. Really liked it. I don't know, I'm a big toxic relationship person, so I think that's why I love this book so much. And then after that, I wanted to go ahead and just finish the Someday Maybe series. So I read Maybe Now by Colleen Hoover, and I gave it a 3.5. This was my favorite book out of the entire series. I really liked how they ended it. I thought it was so sweet how they ended it. That ending was what gave it that 0.5 stars. Really loved it. And then I was still in my Colleen Hoover kick, you know, so I had to pick up It Ends With Us by Colleen Hoover. And I gave this one a 5 star. This book, I don't know. If y'all haven't read this, then please skip through this part because I'm about to tell you something. But this book, there was a part in it that Ryle picked up a glass of, like a mug of what Lily had, and was like, he picked it up, drank it, put it back down, and then went and got him his own glass. If y'all have ever been in a toxic, abusive relationship, that's #1 sign right there. So if you have any men that do that to you, walk away right then, because that's their controlling. That's like him saying, that was Ryle telling Lily, hey, I own you, so what's yours is mine, so you're not allowed to take it. Like, that's what that was. And literally, she painted the abusive storyline in this book amazing. If you've been in that abusive relationship, then you know that this, like, I don't know. I guess it's just because I have been in one, so I know. Anyway, and then I was, like I said, I was still in my Colleen Hoover kick, so I picked up Confess, and I rated this a 3.5 star. I really liked the Aubrey and Owen. Like, I liked the book. It was very good. It just wasn't my favorite by Colleen Hoover, which is why I get a 3.5. And then I went in with that same video. I know it kind of backwards. I guess I just wrote it down backwards. But with that same 7 books in 7 days video, I read One of Us is Lying, and it was a 4.25. Really like this book. Can't wait to read the next one, which is One of Us is Next, and then they're coming out with another one, which is One of Us is Back. And I'm going to wait for that one to come in paperback, because all of my other 2 are in paperback, so. And then I read Red Queen. Guys, I hate to say this about this book, but I gave it a 2-star. I did not like it. I see the potential of why people don't, like, why people love it, but I personally did not like it. I may read this one just because I already have it, to see if, like, I like the series better, but I really didn't like this. And then we're going to go in with the next book, which is Flock by Kate Stewart. I haven't been saying the author's names, and I'm sorry about that. I gave this one a 4-star. Really loved it. Loved the dynamics. I loved the storyline and that plot twist. I was like, the whole time. Like, I'm giving it a 4-star because it was a slow start for me. Like, it took me a minute to get into it. But once I got into it, it was... And then my Nana was reading this to me at work too, so. But this was also in that same video, so if you want to hear more thoughts on it, you can go to that video. And then I got, in that same video I read Without Mary, I gave this one a 2-star, unfortunately. I did not like this that much. I see the potential, I see why people liked it, but it just was not my favorite. I think it was just because it was, I don't know. It just wasn't my favorite book. And then I read After We Collided by Anna Todd. Another 5-star read for me. I mean, another 4-star read. I think I gave After. Did I give After 4? Yeah, another 4-star read for me. I really like this series so far. Like, I'm really vibing with it. I liked all the movies, so I knew I would like the series. I'm gonna eventually reread these and, like, tab them, but I want the normal copies before I do that. Like, I don't want to tab these. Or maybe I'll tab these and I don't know. I don't know, guys. I don't know. And then I picked up Regretting You. Like I said, it's the same video, the 7 books in 7 days. Gave this a 3-star. Wasn't one of my favorites. It wasn't my least favorite, but it wasn't one of my favorites. And then in the initial video, I gave this is Punk 57. The initial time reading this, I did give it a 3-star. But as I'm simmering on it, I think I'm just going to give it like a 2-star because I really did not like this book. And y'all know me. I love like I just said this. I love my toxic relationships. But this one I just didn't like. So I think I'm going to give that one a 2-star. And now that I'm simmering on it. And then another Colleen Hoover book I read with Layla. And it may have just been the time of the year, you know, because if y'all have read this, you know, it's more of a Halloween-y type book. So it may have just been that time. Like, it may have just been the time of the year, and that's why I didn't like it. But I gave it a 2-star. I did not like it. I guessed it right off the bat. I didn't care for it. And then I read Shatter Me. I started this series, guys, finally, after this being on my TBR for like 8 years. I finally started it. I gave it a 4-star. Loved it. Loved it. I was originally rooting for Adam. I was originally like, I'm Team Adam. And I still love Adam. But after reading this next book, I think I might be Team Warren. I did read the Warren point of view, Destroy Me. I did give this a 3-star, but like I said, I do that with novellas just because I don't like rating novellas a high number, even if I like them. But this made me love Warren. So I think I might be a Team Warren on this, but I don't know. Anyway, and then we went in with Twilight. I've never literally I've never read this series. Well, now I have, but I've never read it previously, and I gave this a 3.75 star. And like I said, I think I like confuse my brain when I watch the movie and then read the book, because it makes me not like the book more, you know? Have y'all ever done that? So I'm gonna have to start reading the books and then watching the movies. So I did, like, don't get me wrong, I did love it, and I loved being back in the whole Twilight world and like being in Edward and Bella's world. But I was also never Team Bella. Like, I didn't like Bella even in the movies. I was always Team Edward, and I just wanted him. So that's why I think I'm gonna love the Midnight Sun, because I love Edward. So I don't know, but a lot of people said, some people said they didn't like it, some people say they did. Anyway, and so my next book is that I read. It was on Destiny Sidwell's book of the month pick. So I had to pick it up because obviously I had to be in her book club, you know? Binding 13 by Chloe Walsh. I gave this a 4.5 star. That ending literally had me crying at work. I was so upset. But loved it. Can't wait to. I want to pick up those black copies of these, you know, the ones that have the football on it, and like the black ones. That's the ones I want to pick up. I'm gonna get all of the ones that look like this, but I want the other ones too, the special edition copies. You know, why not? And then I read Icebreaker. Guys, we're almost done. We're almost done. Then I read Icebreaker by Hannah Grace. Literally, I read this in one day, and I loved it. I rated this. I'm trying to find the rating. I rated this a 4.5 star. Cannot wait till the second one comes out. I already have that on pre-order. Literally can't wait. And then I read the entire Slammed series by Colleen Hoover. This, I would say, would be one of my favorite series by Colleen Hoover. It's not my favorite, but it is one. It's my second favorite series. Really, really loved it. I was like, I finished this book, immediately went to this one. Finished this one, immediately went to this one. Like, I read all three of these books last night. Like, I read all three of these books yesterday. In one, like, it was bad. But the Slammed, I gave a 4.7 stars. Point of Retreat, 4 stars. And This Girl, 4 stars. In total, the entire series, I gave it was a 4.25 star. So I really loved it. I highly recommend y'all reading that if you haven't read it yet. And then we went into a bad moment in life when I picked this book up. I literally hated it. Guessed it from the probably chapter 5. I don't really know because I don't have chapter dates, but literally hated this book. The Paris Apartment. I gave this a 1 star, guys. Hated this book. Probably will not read this again, but I don't know. I might read it during October, because like I said, I'm that person that I'm a mood reader, okay? So if I know it's supposed to be October, like if I know it's a thriller, I want to read it around October. So that could be why I did not like it. Maybe, I don't know. I may try it again, or I may just try another book by Lucy Foley to see if like it's actually the book itself or if it's her, if that makes sense. But I've heard a lot of people don't like this book, so I didn't like it. And then I got back into my Colleen Hoover, and I wanted to read the rest of the Colleen Hoovers that I haven't read. There's only 2 books by Colleen Hoover that I haven't read. Every other book I've read this month. So I wanted to get back into it. As y'all know, I read It Ends With Us. You know, I already showed y'all. So I picked up It Starts With Us, and I read this one. Gave it a 5 star. Loved it. Atlas, he's my man, and I love him. So I think that's why I love this book. A lot of people didn't like it, but I personally loved it. And then I picked up Reminders of Him by Colleen Hoover. 5 stars, loved it. I don't know if I told you, but this one's a 5 star too. Loved it. Literally one of the best books that she's written. I don't know. These next few are like top tier for me for Colleen Hoover. Ugly Love, also rated a 5-star. Loved it. These are the, like, I've read these. I've read this one, and, like, It Ends With Us, and It Starts With Us, Reminders of Him. I read this when I first started to get back into reading. But I was, like, in a major reading slump after reading The Paris Apartment. So I had to read, like, some more to get me out of that reading slump, you know. So I picked up the ones that got me, always would get me out of reading slump. So, yeah. I'm going to eventually, like, annotate these. I'm just trying to figure out my annotating stuff. So I didn't want to pick this up and try to annotate it and then it not be good. So I gave this a 5-star. Loved it. Tate Miles. But if you do read it, I do highly recommend reading this one first before you read the next one that I'm about to show you. Because Tate and Miles come back in this book and you can kind of see it. November 9th. 5-star. Love this book. Literally love this book. And I'm going to reread this on November 9th. Don't worry, guys. On November 9th, I'm reading that. And I'll probably do a vlog. I don't know. Then my last and final book that I read this month. Well, not full book. My last and final full book that I read this month is New Moon by Stephanie Meyer. I gave this a 3-star. I did like it. I eventually am going to reread the entire Twilight series, like I said, and annotate it. I'm probably going to reread a lot of series and annotate it, just because I'm just now getting into annotating, so I want to reread my favorite series, or some of my favorite series. I wouldn't necessarily say Twilight's my favorite, but it's my favorite movie series, so. But I gave that a 3-star. I don't know if I said that. And then my book, the book that I'm currently reading, and it's still technically April, so I might finish it in April. I probably will finish it in April. It's Air of Fire by Sarah J. Maas. I am trying to annotate this. It's not the best annotating. I literally am only using one color because I don't have a lot of tabs, so I don't know, but I don't know how to do this or if this is going to work out for me. I don't know, but we're going to try. So yeah, Air of Fire by Sarah J. Maas. Love it. I'm on page, I don't think my book wants it. Oh yeah, it is. I'm on page 1878, and I think there's like 500 pages in this. So yeah, can't wait to finish this. I will finish it today, more than likely, because it's only April. It's April 29th. Is it Saturday or Friday? It's April 28th. So I know I'll finish that. So anyway, that is my April, April, my books I read in April. I don't know why I couldn't think of it. And then I'm going to go ahead and go through the ones that I didn't read and why I didn't read them. Like I said, I am a very mood reader. So when I pick out my TBRs, I just don't know if I'm going to read them, or I just try my best to do what I think I'm going to be in the mood for. But the ones I didn't read was The Court of Mist and Fury. And the main reason I didn't read that is just because I was in the Throne of Glass kick and I wanted to read those. And then I didn't read Shadow of Bones. And I really have no reason. I just didn't read it. Better Than the Movies. I wanted to read that during the summer. So like May, June. And then Vibe Survive. I'm not going to read that until October. I'm not going to read any more thrillers, more than likely. Well, I will, but like, I don't know. I might not. I'm just going to say I'm not going to read that until October probably, or like Halloween-y time. And then Unravel Me and Unite. I put Unite Me because that's the title of this, because I was planning on reading like both Unravel. I don't have the other book right now because it's in my other stack, but I was going to read Shatter Me and Unravel Me, and then I was going to read both of these with it, but I didn't end up doing that. So, and then Just the Things We Never Got Over and The Inheritance Games. And the reason I didn't read The Things We Never Got Over is because that's for a video, and I'm still waiting on another book for that video. Well, I was waiting on another book for that video, but I finally got it in, so now I can do it. And then the Inheritance games, I don't know, I just never picked it up. But I really have no reason. But those are the only ones I didn't read. But other than that, I read everything else on my TBR. So, needless to say, this is a good month for me. Anyway, I hope you like it. Like, subscribe, comment down below. Let me know what other videos you would like to see. If you have any book recommendations that that you think I should read, or any recommendations in general, let me know. But other than that, goodbye guys. I love you.